Hello, hello. So yesterday I gave this trade on GU on gold. I think price did not follow through. Price did not give us any change of height over here. It's still consolidating. It reacted from area. Still, price have not broken this previous structure. Euro USD have tapped our order block, but in this news, it can continue. So we want price to create some kind of structure. Then only we look for sell side. On GU yesterday, I was saying the same thing. Like here in this case, we have this order block, and we did not have we didn't have any kind of structure in this. So we have this high, and in this whole move, there is not even a single structure like any strong high, like 1 minute, 2 minute, nothing. So if we try to understand here, this is the high, like price reacted from order block. Then price broke the structure, creating this new structure. So this is where price gave us change of rate, and we have this order block for our entry. If you look at GJ, same thing happened, but here we had this order block. Price took out the previous low. We had this structure which is aligning with our order block. So this type of structure works good on GU, like here. If you go to lower time frame, we had this order block. Now price have created this trend line liquidity. So I don't think so. Price will tap this area now. Let's see here after the news. Price has swept this liquidity, tap the order block like this one. And if this continues and gives us a structure break, then we can look for a continuation trade to the upside. Here, the intention of price was to flip the liquidity. So we can confirm this is the liquidity sweep now. Where price have now broke the structure here. So we'll wait for price to break this high also. On US 30, yesterday I was waiting for price to look for buy side here. But then price broke the structure, did not give any follow through structure because we had this previous high which was here, and then gave us a break of structure creating this order block. Then price went to the downside. So yesterday I also mentioned that if price breaks this low, then probably we will look for a sell side trade. And again, yesterday I also marked this order block as a POI because if you look at 30 minutes, 4 hour, for 1 hour, we have this candle which only this candle swept the liquidity and then gave us a break of structure. If you try to mark this is a break of structure, and there is this liquidity sweep, and then price tapped and gave us change of fighter and took out the liquidity. So now let's see if price gives us change of fighter here. Hello, sir. We have same zone. Yes, yes. Price have tapped this order block. So we want price to give us a change of target. This is also from yesterday only. I marked this order block. And there was this trend line liquidity. So this setup also was given yesterday. Hit the like button. Also, this trade on Ethereum also shared yesterday. If price breaks this high, this is our block, this is the POI. Price broke the structure, gave us this imbalance. This is our order block. Tap entry to the upside. On BTC, I still think price should continue to the downside. Here, price is creating lots of liquidity. So we can consider this as trend line liquidity. And we have this price where price tapped this POI and gave us a reaction to the downside, creating this liquidity again here. And we have this order block where we can expect price to react. How you manage that much chart? Like, so right now, I think on gold price is sweeping this liquidity and it should continue to the upside now. Yeah. Let's wait for price to break the structure first, then only we'll look for entry. Please hit the like button. Here, price will break this previous structure. Then only we'll consider this as entry. Because this is the inducement and price gap structure, so it's still bullish right now, even though I have marked this yesterday. So I'm waiting for price to break the structure. Like we have this liquidity sweep. If you look at 30 minutes, we have this liquidity sweep. And I want price to break this strong high, which is this one. Like it has created this equal high, but I'm still waiting for price to break this high also. And this is where I'm waiting for price to tap. Here we can see price swept the liquidity from this previous high, broke the structure, created new higher high, and we have this order block, this imbalance, and we have this order block, which took out the whole structure and mitigated this order block. So stop loss below this low. Target this next highs. So this is everything there is a trend line liquidity. So price should sweep this liquidity. If it continues, you can trail the stop loss. So around 1:4. Let's see how structure plays out. Yesterday also marked this order block, but then price broke the structure over here. So let's understand why price did that. If you try to understand, so we have to learn from our mistakes, like what I did yesterday. If you try to see here, we had this imbalance, and there was this trend line liquidity. So price did not give us any breakout structure. Here we have the strong low, so I assume that it should continue, but price did not give us any breakout structure. Still, I marked this. I thought it should continue higher. but that's what you get when you try to be over smart. And we can see there is this bearish reaction. Here, if you look at higher time frame on 30 minutes, we think this is the wick. But if we go to lower time frame, it's still bullish. We have this liquidity sweep. So what I do is, this is the liquidity sweep, and we have this structure break, new high. We have this order block. So if like I'll take this first buy side trade, and if then this breaks, then I look for sell side from whichever area which took out the liquidity. So in this case, we have this wick which took out this high and again gave us a breakout structure. If this gives us entry, we can look for buy side. If this fails, then we can look for sell from this area. So something like this should happen. This is Euro USD. I have already done this analysis. So which chart are you talking about? So it will continue from this high to the upside. So what price does is it uses the previous order blocks as pullback. So for example, I'll show here. Okay, so we have this order block. What price is it reacted from this order block, swept this liquidity, and then gives a pullback. So this is the best time where we can look for buy side entry. Retest. So GU is bullish. Just like yesterday, we have this reaction. So here on 4, I think there is order block over here. So it's giving pullback from this area. Yeah, I think let's find out 5 minutes. Okay, price tap this area. Okay, so it have already broke this order block. So I think it should continue to the upside. We have this breakout structure. We have this order block which broke the structure. Sometimes what happens, we try to over refine the order block, and that's why we miss the entry. So instead of using only this candle, we'll use this whole area. And so here we can see this is the order block which took out the liquidity and then gave us a breakout structure. So we can mark this area for our entry. And we want price to create more liquidity, something like this. Then only this is the valid. Like it don't have to break this high, but it should create structure like this, like consolidation. Because what can happen is if price drops from here and then breaks this too quick, then probably it will be an inducement and then it can continue downside. So always wait for price to create more liquidity. Then only this zone will be valid. So this will be our entry. Stop loss will be below this low. Target will be the next high, which is around 1:2. So 1:3 we can put here. If this continues, then we can trail the stop loss. Right here, we are choosing this area because to the right side, we have this breaker block. So this is the breaker block and there is this order block which broke the structure. So this zone will be more. And if you mark this on 1 hour, we have this wick also. So let's wait for price to react, then only we look for entry. Okay. I hope this helps. Hit the like button. IC markets. How to tackle big losses? So for big losses, like you have to take trades in risk management. Like if you're risking half percent or 1%, then probably you should take like daily to, or depend, like 1 to 2 trades a day. But if you're doing big losses, then that means you are not using stop loss. You're just randomly trying to catch every move. And the thing is, like you try to uh, hold the losses, but not the profit. Gold graded liquidity on 1 minute and buy side. Yeah, we want price to break the structure, then only we'll consider this as break this entry valid. But you can take like a small risk, but it will be risky. So we'll wait, because if we try to understand here, this is our strong lower high, and we have this low is to cut the liquidity from the left side too. So we can take small risk, but this is not a valid setup still. It can work, but let's see. And here we have this 3 weeks. It's showing that still there is some pressure to the downside. See how this goes. On GU price, we have this horizontal order block and this structure. Here price is taking like support from this area. Have tapped this and we have this trend line liquidity. And this is a breaker block. Like if this fails, then this will be a breaker block. If this breaks and creates liquidity, then we can look for retest entry and it should continue targeting the next high. So price can maintain this imbalance because the momentum is to the upside. So it should continue to the upside. So let's see if this happens, then we look for retest here. So this is just a prediction. If this does not, it continues, then we look for horizontal entry to the buy side from here. Because this structure has not been broken yet, and like it's valid, but you can't risk more than 1%. So let's see here. We have this structure which induced this previous high. So this is our strong lower high, and price failed to break this high. So it's creating equal highs over here. That's why. So if you want to enter, you can enter, but enter with less risk. So this is the GBP USD. Price have tapped this high. Let's see what price does. It has broken this previous high. So this will be your breaker block. No, I don't want buy. Please hit the like button. Welcome, welcome. If this continues, then we can look for a continuation entry. Seven to five area. I think it can tap this sort of block. But I wanted to see this to break. I see. Because this is the structure where I started to sweep this liquidity. So it should at least give a single thing, then only you can look for buy. Because in 5 minutes it does not look good. It should after breaking the structure, it should create liquidity at least on 1 minute with a bottle candle. Then only the setup becomes valid. Here, just by looking at 5 minutes, we can see there is this 5 minute wick to the downside. It just retested this order block. So let's see. There is no liquidity in here. This is just straight movement. On AU, same thing has happened. Price broke the previous structure, retested this area. Yeah, it can continue, but because like if you look at 50 minutes, it looks good on 50 minutes. Like price retested this high, but on 1 minute it should give us some kind of confirmation. Then only the setup become valid. Here, if we go to 30 seconds, we can see there was this order block here. Lower high, structure break. this is still lower higher. So at least we want price to break this higher, then only we can confirm that it's now going to the upside. So we have this original order block where we can look for buy side. So let's wait at the original order block where we can look for buy side. So this is the actual move which started to go down and it sweep the liquidity and tap this order block. So no, I'm not selling. I'm just saying that it's now the price action is shifted to the downside. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button.